People, deluded, I'm back again. Arsenal obviously defeated Newcastle 1-0. Yes, we could have scored more goals, potentially a lot of talking points, but at the end of the day, we only got one clean sheet away from home last season. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm sure that's the Sky Sports infograph thing came up, and we've matched that. Away from home, it's not gonna change for us overnight. We've walked away with a victory away from home, 3 points, clean sheet. We move forward to Burnley. Burnley's not gonna be an easy game. They're gonna be bullish after winning their game last night. You all know Burnley, they're a tough side to break down. We took 3 points today. We have to ideally take 3 points from them because we have Liverpool and Spurs very early on, and we have United in September. I don't know the actual date, people, but you get the point. In regards to the player ratings, in regards to the Newcastle game, I feel on a large part, it's not a game where everybody played mad and there's mad headlines and whatnot. I feel we did our job. Yes, I wouldn't even say negatives, but potential talking points and things we can iron out in our game and potential things we can focus on. Like for me, I think we switch off a lot. Well, it's not even what I think. We do switch off a lot from defensive situations. And there was a time in the second half, if you saw Almiron, he was behind our defence, completely unmarked. Now, we do zonal marking from corners, so it's not an issue, but he's completely unmarked. They played a short corner, which they clearly worked on in the training ground, and it didn't develop to anything. But for me, in terms of being proactive and reading that situation, I never saw no one trying to close him down or reading that, for example. Of course, there was a number of stray passes as well, but I feel for all the stray passes, I feel we linked up well. I feel Nelson and Willett played quite well. I feel Chambers put in a good performance. Aubameyang's off the mark for the season, considering it wasn't our strongest backline and the strongest team we can possibly put out. We did what we needed to do and walked away with 3 points, and we might as well crack on, people. I've wasted enough time with irrelevant stuff. Let's focus on the player ratings. I'm going to give Leno a 7. Now, end of the day, he kept the clean sheet. I don't think it was a game where he was defending against an onslaught of things, people, but I just feel whenever he needed to come out, whenever he needed to assess and take control of situations, I feel he did that. I feel he showed a calmness when playing, distributing with the ball at his feet as well, and I feel he, from what I could see on the TV anyways, he was quite vocal and whatnot, so I feel he did what he needed to do to get 7. Maitland-Niles gets a 7, 6 plus 1 brownie point for his assist. I feel Maitland did alright. Couple of nervy moments, but I feel he did alright defensively. I think he did alright going forward. He obviously got the assist, a lovely ball for Aubameyang. I think he did alright today in his right back role, so he gets a 7. Callum Chambers now, no disrespect to Chambers, but I don't think he's the answer. I don't think he's the guy when we look at our centre-halves and they're the ones. But what I like about Chambers, and I think we can use him in the squad. The first thing I like about Chambers is he can ball play. Obviously need to if you're going to be a centre-half here. He can play. I'm not saying he's rubbish. He's not at all. I like him a lot. But he doesn't try to do things above his pay grade. Strictly defending, clearing when you need to clear. Do you get it? Rarely put a foot wrong in that game. Maybe like one incident. I'm sure I talked about it in my other review. Other than that, I feel Chambers was good. And he was looking to our centre-half pairings together today, people. At Socrates and Chambers, yes, they played together in pre-season, but it's not our first choice centre-half pairing. But they came through it. And I think Chambers had a convincing game. And obviously, I think Nelson and Willett played well. Pepe and Martinelli and Ceballos did not have long enough to play, and we won and whatnot. But my point is, there's other talking points. I feel Chambers will get lost in the sea of that, but I feel Chambers had a good game. If Chambers got destroyed today, people would have been on his back. Oh, why Emre played him, blah, blah, blah. I think Chambers has done well. You can only take advantage of the opportunities you're given. Emre's given him one. He's taken it. Will he start against Burnley? I'm not too sure. We've signed David Luiz. You'd be inclined to believe he's going to play. Holding's ahead of schedule, probably not going to be in the first team picture for the next couple of weeks. So there's an opportunity for Chambers, and I feel it's very underrated to be competent, consistent and reliable in football, and I think Chambers has got that. I think he played well today, man, and he's shown he can be an option there. I'll give Monreal a 6. I think he linked up well. I just feel if I'm pushing it, there was a couple of times, like one time he got hit in his cheek, he's stopping play and whatnot, and he should be playing to the whistle. I do feel at times he was leaving a couple of gaps in the team. I do feel at times in the final third, especially when Nelson was on in the first half, he was unnecessarily slowing down attacks. So I don't think he played poorly, but I think he could get a 6. I give Socrates a 6. Now, I think Socrates did alright, but I actually feel he was a bit nervous today, you know, people. I won't lie. If you watch the game again, which I will, it just looked like whenever balls were played in that left-hand channel and Monreal was out of position from going forward, it just looked like Socrates was finding it hard out there. Obviously, he's a centre-half, so it doesn't matter, but obviously when he's on the left-hand side of the centre-half pairing, he does find it harder to distribute the ball and things like that. I think he did alright, but I think he gets a 6, people. I'm torn between a 5 and a 6 for Xhaka. I'm probably going to give him a 5. I feel there was a lot of misstrayed passes. I feel he recovered a bit in the second half. So he can walk away with a 5 really and truly. But I just feel a lot of the passes in the first half was inviting a lot of pressure on us. I'm going to give Guendouzi a 7. I feel he was careless at times. Of course, you're always going to get that with Guendouzi. But I feel he had a good game today. It doesn't... Obviously, you lot know already. Arsenal fans have made their minds up on Xhaka, on Guendouzi, probably on Joe Willock now and whatnot. And the other players and whatnot, but I believe in critiquing it fairly, and I think Guendouzi, there was times he could have been a bit more convincing, done enough to get a 7. I think Joe Willock got a 7. He got tired towards the end, but I liked what I saw from him. But again, no one is playing amazing like it's Wilshere versus Bar, so I'm just liking what I'm seeing, the fearless approach from the young players. I'm seeing Willock try to drive with the ball. I'm seeing a couple passes. I'm seeing that you're being given a chance. It's his 3rd game, people, start in the Premier League. He's taking his chance, and that's the most that's the most him and Chambers can do. I know Chambers isn't young, but you get the point. Then you wouldn't class them as regulars in the team, at least not yet for either player. But the most they can do is when a chance is given, try and show back the faith Emery's got. And that's what they've done, people. So Joe gets a 7. I'll give Nelson a 7. Would have liked to have seen him play a bit wider and take his man on a bit more, but when he did that, he did it. I always tell you, look, he likes to come inside and he links up very well. There was a couple of times on the break he was quite good. Obviously, end product needs to be ironed out a bit. In terms of decision making, I did think, excluding his corner in the 52nd minute, I did think his set piece delivery from corners and that one free kick he took, forgive me if I'm wrong, wasn't quite up to standard today. But I've got a lot of time for Reiss Nelson. I think we're going to get there. He's going to be a decent player for us. I'm not here to say he can be this and that and all these other mad things. I'm just a big fan of Reiss Nelson. I think Aubameyang, moving on from Nelson, sorry, I think Aubameyang gets an 8. He was on course to get a 7 plus a bonus point for an 8. I'll give him that because his hold-up play isn't the best. We know he looked like he was missing Lacazette, and because of the way Newcastle were playing, it was like 5 against 1 at a point. But he obviously scored. I think he never stopped working. I think he worked the wide areas and the channels when he could very well, and a lot of that's underrated. Obviously, Aubameyang ultimately needs to come to this club and score goals, but I think these sort of aspects are underrated. Of course, we don't want our top goal scorer in wide positions, but sometimes whether you're going to be stationed out wide or if you're as a lone striker, you have to work these sort of areas, and he obviously showed composure to get the goal and whatnot, so he gets an 8. So that's my player ratings, people. Deluded, I'm out. Thank you for watching and rocking.